Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, just don't unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's new.
Hey, Hogs Twins here. Check out our friend Matthew Spirit at his podcast at The Dumb Show and his website, don'tunfriendme.com. Yeah.
Good evening, Don't Unfriend Me Nation. Good to have you here. My name is Matthew Spear. I'm the host of Don't Unfriend Me. Welcome to the show. This is The Dumb Show. You can find us at thedumbshow.com or social media sites at The Dumb Show. Good to have you. Thanks for being here. With me tonight, to my right, but I guess your left, it doesn't matter. She's over there, Olivia Spear. My wife, Olivia Spear. Good to have her with us tonight. There's a whole bunch Are you getting that through your headset?
No, I'm not hearing anything.
Right. Folks, 1 second. It's New York. Can you hear them now?
Yes.
Right. 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 Uh-huh. Right. Well, I don't know. I mean, okay. Mm-hmm. Folks, we're online with the producers. Just 1 second. Yeah, well, Dawn was a kind of a sexist. Okay. Well, I think it's kind of funny that 60 Minutes comes out with a Ray Epps defense, and then all of a sudden, I hear from sources that Tucker Carlson was writing a show tonight. You were booking guests, and then what? Corporate said no. Well, sir, I don't think that's fair. Don't you think you fired enough people? Olivia?
Yeah,
Hello?
Yeah.
Folks, I'm sorry to say that the Don't Unfriend Me show has been fired as well. I mean, everyone else is getting fired. It looks like, folks, it's been great working with you. Olivia and I care about you. Olivia, do you have any final words to say?
Night, y'all.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important. You are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans
We're
Crisis
just
Line
kidding. Who's actually believing this? I mean, come on. Fuck Fox News. They're not going to fire. They have no. We don't need no stinking badges. They don't have any power over us. I mean, that's what's great about not being a paid shill for the left or the right. I don't care. I'll say what the hell. I mean, who's not getting fired, Olivia? I mean, seriously, they just need to have the Donald Trump "you're fired" on
Rachel Maddow.
Oh, mad cow! You know, she posted a funny. She did what I did. I did it first, but like most women, she copies men because men are better at everything than women. So, she posted a little thing that says "See you at 9 o'clock" with her going, you know, like this in a picture. I'm like, I already did that. I mean, mine was funnier. So, anyway, folks, did I say men are better than everything than women?
No.
Okay, I didn't say. Are you sure I didn't say? Because I thought I said that's exactly what I said.
When?
Just a few seconds ago. You didn't hear it?
No.
What are you doing? Are you typing?
Apparently.
Well, I did say that. No, I want to correct that. Men are not better at everything than women. Men are just better at being women than women. Is that better? Is that good?
What?
Men are better at being women than women.
No, I'm going to disagree.
Well, the left says you're full of shit. All right, folks.
Well, the left always says we're full of shit.
We weren't fired, thank God. I mean, we would have to fire ourselves, right? Which is kind of interesting. In fact, things are going very well. Facebook's doing very, very well, surprisingly enough. Twitter's doing exceptionally well. Things are great right now in the knock on wood, please.
Darren from YouTube said The View is not fired yet. That's because they're from the left.
Wouldn't that be nice? Folks, we've got some exciting things. The phone number, first of all, Olivia. Yes. We've got some exciting things. People are saying things on Rumble. Zedra just made a comment. So phone number one more time, please. Thank you. So, folks, if you want to, I'm really excited to tell you that the Skype phone number is back. 804-504-1955. No more damn cell phones through Bluetooth. Thank you. So if you want to call in, Skype is live and ready to go. And we never have a problem with Skype, except I've got to switch the audio back and forth. But otherwise, we're good to go. This is going to be a busy show. We have got a ton to cover. So if you want to call in, please do and say, hey, and let us know what's going on. Liv.
Yes.
I'm trying to find the right cell window. Hold on. That ain't it. That ain't it. Hold on. Hold on. That's better, but not quite what I'm looking for. Okay, we're just gonna get it in post. Give it to me with chat. What do we got? We got chat. Come on. Where is it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Here we go. All right. So, okay, background not working. That's okay, folks. We're just gonna go with it. We're gonna go with the flow. We're gonna go with the flow. Where's the flag backdrop? Olivia, there it is.
This is your area of expertise.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking you because I'm just, I'm talking out loud. Okay, so all right, let's get to the chat. I mean, that's first of all. We gotta find out what's going on in chat because that's just the most important damn thing. Because I'm sure everyone has questions. What the shit? There we go. Okay, now the backdrop's not working. It's just one of them days. Now the chat's not working. What the hell is going on, Olivia Spear? Oh, I know. See?
What?
I got to change the background. See? Because it's my old picture, and this is horrible. This doesn't look good. Here, let me change the wallpaper. Folks, just suck it up, okay? This show's not supposed to be effective. It's supposed to be a kerfuckle like it is right now. Do I have this photo anywhere? Oh, come on. I've got to have it somewhere. That doesn't look good. No, that doesn't look good. All right, I got to make one. Hold on. Hold your horses.
You had the flag one with the logo on it.
Yeah, it's not that. It's this. Watch. I'll show. Everyone will understand. So I got to go to the flag video and open that up, and then I can take a screenshot. Just watch. I'm just going to do this. This is so much easier. Command-Shift F4. Get to the corner and take a pic. Close it. Come on over here. Put it there. Come over here, change the wallpaper, set desktop picture, set desktop, thank you. And like sands through the hourglass, these are the days of our lives. See? Yeah, cool, right? All right, folks, listen, let's get to it. We've got comments, live comments. What do we got? Who's on? What are we talking about?
Well, Ramon went to the Steel Point show, said it was pretty
Ramon,
awesome.
how was Steel Point, man? Tell, I mean, we got to see it. I actually have a copy of it live that Matt sent to me, which I'm super excited about seeing. So I actually watched it, but I would probably like to show it to y'all.
I would like to watch it. You didn't tell me that.
Well, we were too busy watching hockey. That's
a good point.
There's been a lot going on.
Hockey and baseball.
Folks, 804-504-1955. Call us on Skype. We would love to hear from you. Any other comments going on, Liv? I mean, what am I missing?
Everyone's just saying hi.
That's it. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So that was the fastest comment section we've ever had.
I'm making comments back, so I'm not really. I'm,
well,
doing my thing on the rounds.
Well, fine. We don't want to talk
to.
Fine. Nobody wants to talk. Fine. I don't want to talk to. I don't know how to screw them. I don't want to talk to them anyway.
I'm getting some Rumble and some YouTube.
No, they can go to hell. I don't want to talk to them. If they don't want to talk to me, I don't want to talk to them. So that's just the way. We'll just get into the video. I mean, that's really what they want. So let's just get into the video, folks. Here is the thing. I'm not happy that anyone gets fired. It's a crazy thing getting fired. I've been fired before, and it's not good, man. You don't want voices censored. And I'm not a fan of Don Lemon. I've never been a fan of Don Lemon. And a lot of people say, oh, well, Matt, did you like Tucker Carlson? Sometimes. I thought he was a good human being. I liked some of the videos that I saw him in when he was out doing personal things. Some of the things that he reported was fantastic, and some of them weren't. But here's what it comes down to. Everyone's making comments and saying, well, why did they fire Tucker? What did he do wrong? Well, I'll tell you a couple things that I'm not going to reveal my source, and I never do. And you can either take me on my past knowledge of certain things without knowing, and then I'm right, or you don't have to. But in this case, it's my understanding that Tucker quit. And the reason why Tucker quit is because on the 60-minute interview with the Ray Epps interview, which you might have seen last night, I've got a clip of it tonight. We're going to talk about it. We'll go into that clip in just a second. Tonight's entire show is kind of intertwined. It's like scissored, like Throes of Passion lesbians. It's scissored. And from my understanding, Tucker was working on a show today, was getting the writing done. What the producers were booking people on the show, and most of this stuff is taken and put together the morning of, just like my show, because you want to be in the news, right? You don't want to miss a segment. So you want to write everything within, 10, 12 hours of your show. And he was ready to combat and blow the Ray Epps story from 60 Minutes completely out of the water and defend himself, because he was really put on trial by 60 Minutes. And it's my understanding that he was told no by Murdoch. And he has it in his contract that he doesn't have to get approval for what he runs. Now, this obviously created a situation with the Dominion server debacle because, let's face it, whether you want to agree or not, there are things that Tucker said that were not true. And the most important thing about that is that if he has carte blanche to say whatever he wants. Good night, son. I love you, bud. What's that? Say it again. 1-0 New Jersey. Thanks, buddy. 1-0 New Jersey. Thanks, Bubba. Good night. See you in the morning. So if he had carte blanche to write and say whatever he wanted, well, this obviously, Liv puts a damper on Fox News, because they could open themselves up to more frivolous lawsuits, right? Or lawsuits that are valid.
Yeah, I mean, if he is in his contract and he's got carte blanche to do whatever he wants as far as guests on the show, and they tell him no, then he can sue the network, I would assume, right?
Well, I don't think it's about sue the network. It's just a breach of contract. And there's only so many things that you can do to breach a contract. And maybe, here's a couple hypotheticals. Maybe if they have done this to him multiple times since January 6th, there's a certain amount of times in the contract that they did that he could walk and still maintain the monies from the contract. But Tucker Carlson doesn't strike me as a person who would stick around just for dollars. Like, he makes a lot of money. He would have the ability to say, you know what, I'm done. But this is really a blessing for Fox News. And it's not at the same time. And let me explain. If Fox News' goal was to get out from underneath the January 6th stories and the stolen election and all that stuff, there was really a few culprits who really carried water for this story. Sean Hannity, Lauren Ingram, Tucker Carlson, Mark Levin, Maria Bartiromo, and that's really about it. And that group of people really carried water for Trump and talked about this. And now behind closed doors, they said something else. But if their goal is to get away from this, the best thing that Fox News could do is have Tucker Carlson quit. That way, it's on him. He left and boom, he's gone. Now, the issue with that also is that it's going to affect their ratings horribly. I mean, he was the #1 voice in conservative TV and radio. So you got rid of Bongino. You got rid of Tucker
Did
Carlson.
Bongino quit or did he get fired?
Everything, my understanding is that it was here's what it comes down to. In my eyes, if you don't have a contract that's offered by the company that has your current contract, you're fired. It's saying that we're done. You've worked, you're being let go. We're not re-upping your contract. It's just like military service. When you leave the military, you're done. You're gone. You fulfilled your contract and then you're gone. But you have reserve duty and stuff like that. But if they don't re-sign you, essentially it's just they're letting you go. And so maybe it's not firing as it is, we're just not re-upping your contract. They didn't want to pay Dan the money and Dan decided to leave. That's everything that Dan says. But it's kind of a coincidence that Dan Bongino leaves, then Tucker leaves, all within a period of time of each other. And of course, it's absolutely no surprise that CNN decided to fire Don Lemon today because it's a cover story for him leaving. Because no attention's going to be brought to Don Lemon because Tucker and being bracketed by Tucker and Dan Bongino and who's next is going to wipe any news from CNN. And CNN can plaster their radio waves and their airwaves that Tucker and now Bongino and question mark are gone. A lot of people are looking at Judge Jeanine. Some people are looking at Jesse Waters might go. I mean, I can't imagine that Fox is going to undercut their entire primetime hour. And if they get rid of Laura Ingraham, if they get rid of Sean Hannity and Tucker, I mean, folks, I can't even, do you know how much advertising dollars they're going to lose? This is going to be huge. So it comes down to...
there's job openings. You can now go apply. If you
No,
want.
I don't want to work for Fox. I would never work for Fox News. I wouldn't. Not that they would ever hire me. They wouldn't hire me. That's why I won't work for Fox News. Because they don't want somebody like me. They don't want somebody who's going to say, you know what? I disagree with the stolen election. I disagree with January 6th. We're going to have a conversation about it. And let's have a real conversation about it. Nobody wants to hear that shit, even though I wound up being right. So here's the thing, and I want to put this in perspective. I like Tucker enough. I've been watching him probably longer than most of you. I don't know. We're a gleam in your dad's eye. He has been around since the Crossfire days, and I have always liked Tucker, and I still do. But Tucker did one thing he shouldn't have. And the one thing he should not have is push the whole stolen election January 6th narrative. I thought it was completely irresponsible of him to do that. And when you lump in Dominion servers with this, and we find out from his text messages that he didn't even believe a lot of this, and he didn't even like Donald Trump in a lot of ways, it makes me say, if we were to hold the same standard to the left, Rachel Maddow, Don Lemon, Cuomo, and the bunch, when it came to Russian collusion, and we think they should all be fired. Every single one of those people who took part in Russian collusion bullshit from 2016 till today, they should be gone. Every one of them. Then you have to say the same thing about Tucker, because Tucker said things that weren't true. He espoused prediction and conjecture and supposition a lot of times. And he didn't have any fact. A lot of it was just spitballing. And when you're spitballing to 2.5 million people and you are such a credible person as far as your fact gathering, people are going to believe you. And I'm sorry. That's why I can sit here and say my shit doesn't stink, because I don't go out on the limb and make shit up. I just don't do it. I will never do it. Never for ratings. I don't do clickbait. I don't do any of that stuff. Tucker may have had balls, but sometimes balls are too much. Sometimes brains are just as important. Somebody's like, Tucker had balls. He had balls, but in this case, he should have had brains. And he should have slowed down, and he should have waited and got confirmation. There were too many guesses when it came to the election. There were too many guesses. There were too many missed targets. The goalpost changed every week. I mean, I want you to think about what it was. The first thing is that it was an overnight conspiracy of stuffing mailboxes during a downpour from a fire pipe, a water main pipe. Then it came down to, suitcases full underneath the desk. Then it came to them painting the windows black and putting up black cardboard. Then it came down to that Donald Trump secretly watermarked state printed ballots. I don't know how the hell he did that. And there was secret identification codes on every single ballot. And he sent these out to recognize corruption and cheating. Well, that was false. Then he said the Nashville, Tennessee AT&T Pac Bell building that blew up, that bomber put the RV in front was where the Dominion servers were, and that's not true. Then there was a giant raid between England and Germany in Berlin, and they said George Soros and Nazis, Third Reich, and Dominion servers were there, and they ran a special forces op to go in there and get that information and put people in Guantanamo Bay. That didn't happen. Then we said it was Dominion servers were hacked, and there's no evidence of that whatsoever. I can show you videos, but it doesn't matter. There's no evidence of it. See, that's the problem. Then it was 3,000 affidavits that were all thrown out. Then it was 60 some odd cases by Donald Trump where one of them got through and it had nothing to do with the election. It had to do with gerrymandering lines. And then we said that. Then Rudy Giuliani went to Arizona and said, oh, no, this is what it was. It was ballot harvesting and the dead voting. I've got Mary Beth Sue and then Josephine Guadalupe, their roommates, and Josephine Guadalupe's died. I've got Mary right here, and she says that her roommate filled this out with her signature, and she has it right here. And they voted for Joe Biden. And then 5 minutes later, in the middle of Fox News, in the middle of the day, Giuliani's standing there looking like an ass. And the FEC walks out and says, actually, we've got Mary Jo's right here, and it's voting for Trump. And ma'am, these are your signatures on live TV. So we can sit here and pretend. Oh, I forgot the best one. Then we forgot 2,000 Mules. We forgot the 2,000 Mules, Dinesh D'Souza, behind a paywall, $39.99. You can get this movie and find out the truth. If it's the truth, it should be free. If it's the truth and it was important, it should have been everywhere. It should have been sent out to Donald Trump's mailing list for $29.99. Screw that. Do it for free. But once again, it's about making money. So we can sit here and I can have this debate with you. I can debate it all night. 804-504-1955. Tucker Carlson was wrong. And he got fired for it, or he walked out for it. One of the two. But it's okay, because sometimes you get it wrong. What Tucker Carlson should have done, and what I would have liked to have seen, is for him to come on air and say the following. Listen, we go with the information that we have. I am a editorialization focused reporter, but we do investigative journalism as well. We made some predictions that did not come true. We said some things that were not 100% accurate. And for that, I apologize. And I want to retract those things. However, and then say whatever he wants to say. But that's what credibility looks like. And that's why Tucker's gone. That's why Bill O'Reilly's gone.
I thought Bill O'Reilly was gone because of sexual allegations.
And he wouldn't admit any wrongdoing. He denied the whole thing. So you've got a slew of people who have been fired. Cuomo, who said, oh, no, I didn't give my brother information on that. I didn't push things in good stories and ignore others. Yes, you did. You cheated. And credibility is important. So here's what I'm going to say about the whole Tucker, the whole Don Lemon is good. Anyone who is on the airwaves, and we know this, folks, you know, you're not going to argue with this. That's why you're not calling in, because we know Fox is full of shit. We know CNN's full of shit. We know MSNBC's full of shit. We know it's all about the commercials. It's all about syncing the channels so they can get you on the new Provasic, so you can ask your doctor if it's right for you. So you can get the new Gold Bond medicated powder, or you can invest in sterling or gold, silver, whatever. That's what it's about. It's about commercials, and they have their demographic. They've got their people. They've got 48% of voters who are Republican and 52% of the voters that are Democrat. And they watch in a list 4 channels. And now they're stirring it up. And people are saying, enough. America is sick and tired of being lied to. They're sick and tired of every single night nobody ever possibly saying anything fucking positive about the other side. There's not one thing ever that we can say positive about the other side ever. Really? Well, then guess what? We have problems, both sides. Because today I did a show and I gave Joe Biden his credit on veteran laws that he's passed, and legislation that he has pushed through that actually went through and did it the right way versus executive order. And I gave credit to Donald Trump. It's okay once in a while to say, yep, this was a good move, or this was a good move. And without losing your scruples, without losing your credibility, it's okay to say those things. Call the Democrats out on their bullshit. Call the Republicans out on their bullshit. But celebrate the wins. Celebrate when they actually meet in the middle and do something right for a change. And if this is what it takes to get fake news out of America's TVs, then so be it. So be it.
Lots of people have asked who gets custody of the January 6th tapes.
Yeah, well, honestly, they were given to Tucker Carlson, not Fox News. So they're Tucker's. They're his property. He had full writ to do whatever he wanted with them. He was given to them by McCarthy, not Fox News. So now the question is, here's the question. Now, this is going to be in his contract. Any information obtained through his show is property of aforementioned Fox News Media Group, blah, 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 blah. Or is it, since he has his own company, I believe it would go under Tucker, because Tucker has his own news company. So therefore, I would assume that in his contract, he specifically asked that, because he's going to collect sources that come from his, the Daily Caller. And if that's the case, and he's getting information through the DC, then it's not Fox News' property. It just depends. And my opinion is that he would have that in his contract. That's what I would say. Folks, we've got to stop. Everyone here on this phone call knows that Fox News is full of it. Can we all agree that Fox,
they're all full of it.
Right, they're all full. Right, they're all full of it. But everyone agrees here that everyone goes, "Oh, come on, Fox, you guys have lost it since J6 of 2020," and they have, and they've been peddling a narrative. We know this. Everyone believes. I know they believe this. Especially my viewers. We question what they say. We really do. The only thing we really don't question is the 5. And probably with Dana Perino, morning show with Dana Perino, Fox and Friends. Fox and Friends can even be pretty biased sometimes. Maybe Harris Faulkner. Those shows are pretty damn right down the middle, but leaning right at the same time, right? But you go to Hannity, you go to Tucker, you go to Laura, it is absolutely the rightest of right. And it just like you go to Lamont and you go to Old Cuomo and Rachel Maddow, it's the left of the left. Because they wouldn't book those shows that are antithetical of each other at the exact same time. We understand this, right? Just like you take any show, you can see they're aligned. Even the morning show with Don Lemon, that lines up with Fox and Friends. And the reason why is because they want people to watch the same type of content. So if you switch the channel and you don't get a commercial, that you go, oh, well, this is a morning show of another news station. I'm going to watch it. And that's how you gain market share. And it's a very small amount of people who go left or right. But the whole thing about this is that there are some very damaging things that are said on these shows that are editorial based, which means it's opinion, it's supposition, it's conjecture, and they can say whatever they want and get away with it, except when it goes to defamation. Now, people say to me, oh, well, Dominion didn't have a case. Well, that's true. And the reason why Dominion didn't have a case is because it is almost impossible to prove that there was something nefarious with nefarious intent to defame somebody is very difficult to prove, especially in the media and the news agency, because you muddle the lines between the Fourth Estate doing their job and First Amendment rights and defaming a person. It's very difficult to prove libel and slander when it comes to the media. In fact, it rarely happens. But why did Fox settle then? Well, I think they settled because I think Fox is looking to rebrand itself just like CNN. CNN is going to try by this time next year, before the election, to be more centrist. And Fox has to do the same. Otherwise, they're going to lose market share. If CNN goes back to the old CNN that they used to be, and that's very highly doubtful, Fox can't react to that in time. They kind of have to keep pace with their competitor. Just like if Coca-Cola rebrands and drops their soda 20 cents in the vending machine, Pepsi has to respond. They have to. And if they don't, they're going to get their asses kicked. Same thing with CNN and Fox News. CNN is making a pivotal shift, doing what America wants, which become more centrist. Well, Fox has to do the same thing. You're not going to be able to do that with Tucker Carlson. You're not going to be able to do that with Laura Ingraham. You're not going to be able to do it with Sean Hannity. And eventually, you will see these pieces be changed out. Whether you agree with that or not, that's ultimately what will happen. So Giorgiano Mari says, bye, Felicia. See ya. This is not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure, bro. You don't like what you're hearing, you can leave. It's okay. I'm not offended. It's not like we're dating or anything. Georgie, Georgie? Can I call you Gino? Can I call you Georgino? You don't have to, you just don't get all pissy. You don't have to. What did I say? Please wait, Georgino, please tell me what I said that offended you there. Considering that that's about as center as you can go. I called out Fox, I called out CNN, I called out MSNBC, and I just simply laid out what happened. And Georgino says Tucker got fired. No, you don't know that. How do you know that? Show me, prove it. 804-504-1955. I'll give you $10,000 right now. Show me a document that says that he was fired and show me the evidence. I'll give you $10,000 online right now. I will transfer it to your PayPal account. $10,000 cash. Show me a writ of termination. Show me a cancellation of contract. Show me. $10,000 to your PayPal account right now. I'll give you. Because I'm going to make it back. Because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go boost it on Facebook and I'm going to throw it up there. And I'm going to get 1.5 million clicks because I'm the only one that has it. Show it to me. Come on, jackass. Give it to me. $10,000 cash right now. I'm waiting. No? I had a thought. So you don't know anything. You don't know if he was fired. You don't know if it was a contract dispute. More than likely what it was is that they let him go because it was a part of the deal with Dominion. It makes sense. It's been a week. The smoke's kind of cleared. They let him do a few shows. They got him over the weekend. They kind of got their plan of what they were going to do and who they were going to bring in. And they pop smoke and they're done. Georgino, just because Tucker Carlson said, I'll see you on Monday, doesn't mean he was fired. You understand what I'm hearing. And see, what I'm saying is that this is not confirmed, but my sources, which I promise you are 10 times better than yours because I know people who work at Fox News. But let's just go ahead and assume that what you said is true, which it is, that he said, I'll see you on Monday. And my sources tell me that he was prepping for a show tonight, that there were people who were called, who are on Twitter saying, I was booked on Tucker tonight. And he was going to do a hit piece back on 60 Minutes based on Ray Epps and the 60 Minutes hit piece that they did on him. And the producers, Murdoch and corporate said no. And Tucker said, you're going to allow them to do that on me and not have me defend myself? And he said, fuck it, I quit. So how is that not possible too? So just because he said, I'll see you Monday doesn't mean anything. See you next Tuesday. He can quit. Okay. Gino, you don't know anything you're talking about. You have never had a contract of this size. You don't know what you're talking about. $10,000 cash. Give me proof. Okay, shut the fuck up. No offense, man. I'm sorry. I don't have time for you. I got to do other things, like actually deal with people who are serious. Livia, what are you doing?
Just looking.
At what?
Looking at.
We got a show going on. What are you reading? Playboy Dimensions?
Oh yeah, totally.
What is? Well, why don't you share some of this stuff? Who is it?
I was just researching about Tucker.
Researching what? What did you find?
I don't know yet.
Be a part of the show.
I'm just reading.
Why don't you pop smoke on your phone and come and join us?
Okay.
Come on, Olivia Spear. Come on in. Join us. You got a little station. You got a microphone. How do you feel about all this? What did you find out? You were doing some research. What did you find out?
I don't know yet. It's too long. I can't read that fast.
That's what she said. All right. So, Gino, you're full of shit. I gave you $10,000 and you said no, like everybody who comes in and says, I've got the proof, but you don't have any proof. You're just speculating. And I'm trying to go ahead and deal with fact. This is why Tucker no longer has a job, is because he's not dealing in fact, and neither are you. Here's the thing that I want to show. There's a few things that we haven't seen, and you probably haven't seen when it comes to Tucker. I want you to listen to this video. And I think there's another one that he does of a fly fishing video that he's out in Central Park and he's fly fishing.
I didn't know you could fly fish in Central Park.
Either did that person who questioned him. And Tucker, this guy was obviously trying to catch him. It was like a First Amendment audit type guy. And Tucker was absolutely as nice as could be. He was kind. He was honest. He talked about fly fishing, asked where the guy was from. And you could tell that Tucker was a little bit nervous, but it was a fantastic interaction when you see people at their very best. And that was great. But this one is also good. Oh, Gio, you don't get any more airtime.
I can't see.
Gio, you could have called 804-504-1955. Don't pretend like you are offended. Because you're not. You know you're full of shit. You don't need me to tell you this. You know you are. You're the one that said he was fired. Exclamation point. That means it's fact. It's not opinion. You didn't say, I think he was fired, which I wouldn't care if you said that. You came into my show and pretended like you knew what you were talking about. And you didn't. You were trying to contradict my point, and you have no proof of that. I offered you $10,000 cash. Every single person knows that I would give it to you like that. If you were right and you produced the actual evidence, I'd give you $10,000 cash, but you don't have any. You're speculating like the rest of the world is. Everyone else is speculating, okay? And I already said, this is what I heard. It doesn't mean it's fact, but this is what my sources are telling me. You're sitting in your freaking basement. Your Xbox is probably downloading a game. Your mom's asking you to take out the trash, and then you decided just to jump in here and go ahead and throw some random bullshit and not be able to back it up. That's you, man. That's you. You can't tell me anything that I've said that's untrue. So when you say I'm full of manure, it's really you just projecting your own loser fucking lifestyle on me. All right, let's get to it. Here's the video of Tucker I want you to.
Like, I've spent my whole life in the media. My dad was in the media. Like, that is.
1 sec. Okay, now here is the Tucker video. Gio is still complaining. Dude, Gino, grazie. Go fucking piss off.
I can't see his comments.
Who cares? I'll read them for you. Like, I told you can't see people's comments unless you're over here.
My dad was in the media.
Why do you keep saying that? Livy?
Because I can see most everyone else's. So I'm wondering which platform he's on.
He's on Facebook, but you can't see everybody's because they don't necessarily put them in order.
Got it.
Yeah. So stop saying that, please. Hold on. I'm trying to get the sound going.
Like, that is a bit.
Why is this going out there, Liv?
I have no idea.
Come here, Liv.
Okay.
I can't figure out.
Part of the
there it is. I got it.
Revelation that's changed my life is the media.
I know, but you kind of help me stay grounded.
Like, there's no. Yeah, I know, because you're younger and smarter, and you're like, yeah.
By the way, this is a clip from the Full Send podcast. Full Send podcast. If you haven't had a chance to give them a listen, they're not bad. I've listened to them a couple times. They're just, some young whippersnappers. But hey, they got Tucker Carlson on. They're doing pretty good. Here it is.
But what if you're me and you spent your whole life in that world, and to look around and all of a sudden you're like, oh wow. Not only are they part of the problem, but I spent most of my life being part of the problem, defending the Iraq.
Hey, Liv. Gio says you're a bimbo. Dude, what are you fucking? What are you from 1940? See, you're gonna go ahead and call her a bimbo, are you? Yeah, absolutely. Or you're gonna go ahead and make some stock purchases and go ahead and buy some Canadian whiskey from the mob. What the fuck's wrong with you? A bimbo?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, dude, she's smarter than you'll ever be. Call in, have an argument with her. 804-504-1955.
Bimbos are usually blonde, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not blonde.
Yeah, he's Italian. He doesn't like women. He slaps his women around. That's what Italians do.
I'm brunette.
She's more Italian than you are, I think.
I actually did that. Can you imagine if you did that?
Well, what do you think? What is one of your biggest regrets?
Hold on a second. I got to get a picture of Gio. Let's get a picture of this Yahoo. Here, let's see what this guy looks like. Here, we're going to blow this thing up like crazy. Oh, shit. Don't crash. I just made this thing the size of a house. Here we go. Oh, how precious. Oh, Gio, look at you. If the bare naked ladies had sex with Pee Wee Herman, you would be the offspring. That is just gorgeous. What a special little character. Are those clear glasses, dude? Look at this. Oh, I know who you look like. Hold on. You know what, bro? I got you. I got you, man. I got you. Watch this. Watch this. Hold on. Hold on. This guy needs to wait. This is important. Let's see if I can find this. Olivia will know exactly who I'm talking about. There he is. Yes. Oh God. This is so good. This is perfect. I'm really good at my
Steve Buscemi?
No, I'm really good at my job. No, Steve Buscemi's a freaking knockout compared to this guy. Hold on, where's he at? Let me just get the best picture possible.
Oh,
No. Don't say a word. Don't cheat. Don't cheat.
I know who you're talking
Don't cheat. Here it is. I got it. Here he is. Oh. All right, here we go. I'm excited. Are you sure you know? Did you look?
I have a good idea. Can I tell you who I think it is?
No, too late. There it is. Dude, it is a spitting image of Gio.
That's exactly who I was thinking of.
I know. It's the guy from Scary Movie 2.
Exactly.
In the wheelchair.
Yep.
Look at that.
Shorter hair.
Look at that. It looks just like him. I didn't know we had a celebrity on our. Can I get your autograph, man? You don't need $10,000. You're rich. You're in Scary Movie too. I can't believe the teeth, the eyes. The only thing is the glasses. Your glasses are white. Why are you racist? What's wrong with black glasses? This guy's a bigot. That's him. That's Gio. Look at this guy. He's a handsome devil. He's got to at least be what, 4'2" in the wheelchair?
Maybe a little bit shorter.
He's handsome. Gio, you should call in, man. I'd love to hear about.
Gio, you're getting your ass kicked. Everyone likes me. No one likes you.
And Gio, I was wondering what do you think of the Wayans brothers? Did you guys have a good time? Did you actually, what did you have to do to prepare for that film besides wake up and sit in a wheelchair? I'm just wondering. It's cool. Here it is.
Oh, defending the Iraq War.
That is it.
Well, I've had a million regrets not being more skeptical, calling people names when I should have listened to what they were saying. Look, when someone makes a claim, there's only one question.
Gio's a lawyer. By the way, are you allowed to post my pic? I'm a private, not public figure. Hello, Facebook. You're voluntarily trolling my page. I can post whatever the hell I want. See, when you come into my page and you come onto my show, you're a willing participant in what happens in this show. So go get a Facebook lawyer. The guy showed my picture. You're going to cry. You call my wife a bimbo, you fucking dipshit. Of course I'm going to show you a pic. You want to go through your personal profile? I'll find some things to embarrass your ass. We can do that. We can do a background check and find out all about you. What do you want to do? You want to keep pushing buttons or you just want to shut up and watch the show? You might learn something. By the way, I loved you in Scary Movie 2. You were fantastic.
That's important at the very beginning, which is the claim true or not? So I say, you committed murder or you rigged the last election. Before you attack me as a crazy person for saying that, maybe you should explain whether you did it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for too long, I participated in the culture where I was like, anyone who thinks outside these pre-prescribed lanes is crazy, is a conspiracy theorist. And I just really regret that. I'm ashamed that I did that. And partly it was age, partly it was the world that I grew up in. So when you look at me and you're like, yeah, of course they're part of the means of control. I'm like, that's obvious to you because you're 28, but I just didn't see it at all. And I'm ashamed of that.
Isn't that what the media tries to do, though?
It's their only purpose.
Right.
They're not here to inform you. Really? Even on the big things that really matter, like the economy and war and COVID and like things that really matter that will affect you. No, their job is not to inform you. They are working for the small group of people who actually run the world. They're their servants. They're their Praetorian Guard. And we should treat them with maximum contempt because they have earned it. Like,
it really is interesting when you put it in that context with him, is that's kind of the way he ran his show. It was always in spite and in lieu of maybe not decorum. He had decorum. He he didn't care. He had this idgaff attitude. And I think ultimately he went from one end of the spectrum of towing the line for the media establishment to questioning everything, and ultimately it cost him his job. Or it cost him his job because he decided to quit or ultimately was fired. One of the two or whatever. But for anyone to speculate what happened, I think there's one person we should take their word for it. And the first person is Tucker Carlson. And second is, how can we believe Fox on anything? Because understand is that corporations have rules that they have to follow, whether it's HIPAA or unemployment laws, where they can't tell you why Tucker was fired and get very granular and specific, or why he quit or whatever. In fact, that's Tucker Carlson's job to do. I believe the part where he walked in and he quit because he didn't have a final show. And to me, that says a lot. It could be fired, but they've known for quite a while that this was going to happen. And why wouldn't they have fired him immediately after Dominion? So there was no question. It makes sense that he wanted to go ahead and talk about J6 and talk about Ray Epps. And they said no. And he said, it's in my contract. I have the absolute right. I have carte blanche to tell any story I want to. And I am going to tell this story. And they said, no, you're not. And he said, well, then I quit. And that was probably in his contract. So you can break a contract if the contract is violated. Sorry you couldn't see Gio, honey. You don't want to see him. He's a small, petulant little man. Oh, he left.
Did he? Because everyone's like, let's ban him. And I was like, I'm a big girl. I don't care.
Don't ban him.
Let's see if he says anything
Why would you
else.
ban him? Don't ban him. He's a putz. Listen, if I'm losing in a debate, then you ban the guy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. The guy's a lightweight. No, listen, he's a lightweight. I offered him $10,000 to prove something. He couldn't prove it. So why do I care? And Olivia is a bimbo. You're kind of a bimbo.
Not really. I was when I first met you. I was pretty young and naive.
I don't think you were ever a bimbo. I'm just
No.
I'm just pulling your leg. Folks, here's Don Lemon. I want to put this down. Now, this was Vivek Ramaswamy. I believe Ramaswamy is how you say his name. He's a presidential candidate. And this guy, fairly libertarian, middle of the road. And I want to talk about this, and I want to be careful not to get into the Second Amendment dealings of this, because this is kind of, it frustrates me. Everyone's told me, oh, listen to this guy, listen to this guy. And the first time I hear him, I'm like, you're full of shit. And it's sad. Even though he says it with conviction, Don Lemon winds up being right, but it's the way Don Lemon says it. It's not just passive aggressive. At first it was, but it's condescending. And he essentially puts down another person of color by saying his color is more important. And this is why he's gone. I'm just letting you know right now, this was the final straw. The fact that he has screwed up this morning show, he was cast out. They took him off primetime, stuck him in the AM slot where he couldn't do anything. They wanted him to be, who was the black weatherman? Al Roker. They wanted him to be an Al Roker, loved by America. Nobody loves Don Lemon. He's angry. He's pissed. He wants primetime and he hates his job. He's doing it for a paycheck. He's been doing it for a paycheck for quite a while. So he gets on here and Vivek just is going at him and won't relent. And Don throws a temper tantrum. This is why, in my opinion, this is why he got fired. Take a listen. You can tell me what you think, and we'll go from there. And then maybe Gio will grow a backbone and actually call in.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to black Americans, to say that black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was part of what secured
hang on,
that
please.
freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on one second. So to say that black people, say what you said again?
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They
That's
were
a
not
fact.
secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not, you are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to happen.
And you know how they got...
Slavery was abolished in 1860. Bill of Rights was put in 1791. You're talking 69 some odd years apart. And most assuredly, the Second Amendment did not necessarily give freedoms to African Americans because they were still slaves. Okay. And the last time I checked, I'm sure they weren't going ahead and sowing crops and plowing fields with muskets. Okay. Because if they were, they wouldn't be plowing fields and sowing the crops. But what Vivek is trying to say is that the Second Amendment, when African Americans and the 3/5 Compromise and the Civil War was over, is that Second Amendment ensured, with 4 million slaves being thrown into the population, who had the right to bear arms and the right to protect themselves and the constitutional rights of the First, the Second Amendment, and all the way through 10, and et cetera. Then maybe you could call her out and go have a conversation instead of interrupting my show. Thank you. So anyway, welcome to children. So you have a situation where the Second Amendment ultimately did take care of and protect the rights that were bestowed, but it's not quite like he's saying, right? It's like he says it the wrong way. He's ultimately saying, hey, the Second Amendment was created so African Americans could have rights. And that's not true. But I think what he says it here in the middle part where he's like, and he doesn't say what I mean to say, is that the whole reason why African Americans were able to fight for their rights and we started to progress towards civil rights and progress to get rid of Jim Crow laws and et cetera, is because of the Second Amendment, and it has the right. He should also say the first, he should say is the Bill of Rights. He doesn't have to say the second. He should say that the Bill of Rights ultimately gave African Americans ability to reach the same status as white or any other color or any other sex in the United States. But he doesn't quite say that. Sorry, what did she want?
She wanted you to give a shout out to the Babysitters Club online. But what made her laugh is Miss Willow is on YouTube watching your show right now. And she's like, please, 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 Miss Olivia, unground Hayden on Wednesday. Hayden's grounded right now.
Why is Hayden grounded right now?
Because her room's messy and she didn't bring down her plates like I asked her to. So I said,
Willow, call into the show, 804-504-1955. Willow, get on the phone.
So I grounded her today through Thursday.
No, wait. Why didn't you tell me this?
Because you were right in the middle of your Don Lemon thing.
I knew you were mad at her because I saw you that's why when she walked in.
I wasn't mad at her. I was showing, that's why I said, come here. I wanted to show her the comment, but.
All right, let's finish this and then hopefully Willow will call it. Here we go.
They got their Second Amendment rights and they actually got, the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don, the
NRA did not play a big role in that.
Absolutely, they trained black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role in that.
This is just historical fact. But Don, the part that I find.
Because you say it's historical fact.
The part that I find insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a different point of view.
Black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate
I'm not saying you
without me regarding you as a black man,
but
me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
You're
That's what I
sitting
think we
here,
should see.
whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
whatever ethnicity
about what it's like to be black.
Whatever
in America.
ethnicity I am, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on
debate.
The content of the ideas.
If you're going to do it, you should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way. Okay? We appreciate you coming on.
With due respect, Don, I look forward to continuing that conversation.
Thank you. The conversation.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Papa.
We'll talk about China.
Yes, let's talk about China.
Next time you come back.
Oh, thank you. Much to say on declaring independence from China.
Okay,
something you can
move
add
on now, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're on my list. Now, if you have something to say, you knock on the door and you come in and you have a conversation. You don't barge in and start screaming and laughing because they're trying to listen to something or they're trying to listen to me. I've got no problem timing out the show and being a dad. You know me. You're a part of this show. I love you and I want them to be a part of it, but you do it with respect. This is not your show. This is not your house. You are living here out of the kindness of my own heart. I can send you to China like that.
We can sell you to China.
I can sell you to China just because I don't have to keep you. Yeah, I'm like Fox News. You're Tucker. I can fire you right now. Okay. What do you want?
You said for Willow to call in the show. I have her on call right now.
She doesn't call on you. She calls me. Okay. Tell her to call 804-504-955 to get out of my room.
Okay.
Get out of my room. Look at Betty. Betty's like, he's rude and dismissive of a guest. That's my daughter. She's not a guest. Oh my God. Hold on a second. We're getting Willow to call in. Let's see if we can get this done. Who's Mike? Who's Don? What's going on? Olivia, you're supposed to keep me abreast of what's going on.
I can't see half those comments, remember? If I can't read them,
we gotta get you on here.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't see half those comments. Don is Don Lemon. That's who everyone's talking about.
Okay, but is Matt Giorgio still talking?
I have no idea.
But how rude is Don Lemon, right? Oh, I see what she said. You weren't talking. Okay, I got it. You weren't saying that I was being rude to a guest. You're saying Don's being rude to a guest. Sorry, my daughter's coming in and she's barged in like 3 times and she's already on my list and she's being rude. And I'm going to call her out whether we're in front of everybody or not. Willow, 804-504-1955. Willow is my daughter's friend. And Hayden's grounded. And she wants her to be ungrounded. So she's trying to call in and convince us and sending Olivia texts on the show. And I'm like, screw this. Tell her to get on the show and come in and do this properly. All right. So hold on. Barina Human. Is it a human? Who is in the back of a car and looks like she's being driven around. So it's driving Miss Lazy. Barina says, my word, you are delusional. Oh, well, that's always a good start. Let's see. Tucker are one of the backbone reporters of the news we grew up with, not the snowflakes that are trying to please the agenda of the current administration. America is a joke. No wonder the world is turning their back on you. You are weak. You are your own downfall. Carry on. You are canceled.
It's Tucker is, not Tucker are.
Seriously, that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand that. What do you mean he's a reporter? Tucker Carlson's not a reporter.
Does editorials.
He does editorial. He's a talk show host. That's like saying I'm a reporter. I'm more of a reporter than Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson doesn't report. He doesn't go out and do eyewitness news. He doesn't necessarily write his own stuff. He has a slew of writers to do that. He is the vocal portion of his show, and he's great at it. I love his presentation. It's amazing. I think Tucker Carlson does a great job. But what did I say? I called him out on two things, and you're like, oh, you're canceled. First of all, lady, you can't cancel me. You can try.
Yeah,
you can do me a favor, do it. Just show me what this looks like. Go ahead and cancel me. Let me see how this is going to feel. You can't cancel me because I'm not going to bow down to anyone. Just because you don't agree with me doesn't mean it gives you the right to try to cancel me. You can do it. But I promise you're not going to be able to do anything. Many people have tried. It doesn't work.
Your one unfollow isn't going to hurt us.
Oh, well, yeah. This is a huge loss for the right wing. Tucker was the only mainstream conservative who wasn't totally compromised. I disagree. I don't think Dan Bongino's compromised. Do you think Dan Bongino's compromised? Do you think Joe Rogan's compromised? Hell, do you even think Bill Maher's compromised? Have you been listening to Bill Maher lately? Guy sounds like a nice little conservative. Hell, I look at the amount of podcasters like Graham Allen who are out here and Larry Elder. I don't consider those people compromised. Hell, Russell Brand isn't compromised, and he's extremely, I mean, gosh, talk about a guy you never thought you would listen to and enjoy. But Russell Brand, I don't consider him compromised. Do you consider Ben Shapiro compromised? And what do we mean by compromise? Do we mean that they have endorsements? Do we mean that they backpedal and pull back? Because I think everyone has to do that, especially during this age of deplatforming. Hell, the Human lady, Driving Miss Lazy, just wanted to cancel me. I mean, she tried to take my income away. Where are you going? Oh, well, have fun. All right. Let's see what else we got here. All right. He's a show host. Oh, yeah. Barina Human. Can I just call you Adolf? Adolf, call in. 804-504-1955. I'd love to hear from you. Would love to hear from you. What else we got here? All right. So here's the other thing is so we don't lose too much momentum because we've got some good momentum here. Vivek seems like a smart guy. I think he could phrase some things. He was more interested in just bashing Don Lemon back and forth, but Don was being a jerk. But I think that's the reason why. You have a person of color who comes on, you invite him on, and you basically race shame him that he's not black. And what he says is, and here's the real reason why this is important, and here's my last thing on Don Lemon, is what he said was extremely racist. What he's saying was, because you're not black, you can't speak to me, and you can't speak on black things. So essentially what he does is he marginalized himself, and CNN said, well, you're black, so why do you get to speak on white things? And when you put yourself in that box, which he just did, essentially CNN says, that's it, you're done. Because how do you recover from that?
I think he was on a thin line with the ageist comments about the women anyway.
Of course he was. But think about that. Every time someone came on to argue with Don, they'd say, well, why are you talking about this? You're black. Can you imagine? Like, he could never walk away from a debate ever again because he just set the rules. He brought up race and he put himself in that box. It's not something that he could walk away from. All right.
Somebody keeps asking you if you...
12 inches.
Not that.
Oh.
Have you heard of Dennis Michael Lynch?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody just asked if you'd heard of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go through, listen, let's let the primary dust settle, right? Let's get all the candidates out here before we start waxing intellect, because Mike Pence is going to drop soon. Nikki Haley's not having that good of a time. A lot of this field is going to drop. And right now, I think, honestly, with Kennedy in the race against Biden and Biden's new poll numbers at 70% are saying he shouldn't run, that's damaging. So I think they're going to wait and see what happens. All right. One of the next things I want to talk about when it comes to the drama from all of this is Joe Biden. And well, let's do Ray Epps first. So you remember the Ray Epps episode, right?
No, I'm sorry. There's so many of them. I don't even remember who Ray Epps is.
So I put this on. Oh, geez, I don't know how long ago. This was like before everyone was talking about this. I'm going to see if I can find it.
Is Ray Epps the January 6th guy?
Yeah, hold on. Caller, call back. Caller, call back. Wait, who am I talking? No, we got the caller. Where are you from? Who is calling? Savannah. Well, why didn't Willow want to call in? Why doesn't she have the intestinal fortitude to pick up the phone? All right, Savannah. First of all, Savannah, tell everyone who you are so everyone knows. Okay. Yeah, she's pimping
her business.
You know what? Fine. I'm going to show the business. Since I have I can do that because I am the father of one of the kids. I'll put it on for you. Here it is.
Hi, I'm Hayden.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Maeve. And I'm Willow.
And we are the Babysitters Club.
For just
You gotta stop
$10
talking.
an hour per child, we watch your little ones when you're away and take care of them.
We love to connect with your kiddos and get to know them better so they have the best experience.
We bring age-appropriate games and toys to keep your little ones.
Hold on, guys. Okay, nobody can hear her, so I'll get her on in a second. Let me finish this.
Hi, I'm Hayden.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Maeve. And I'm Willow.
And we are the Babysitters Club.
For just $10 an hour per child, we watch your little ones when you're away and take care of them.
We love to connect with your kiddos and get to know them better so they have the best experience.
We bring age-appropriate games and toys to keep your little ones entertained while you're away from home. There are 4 of us and we offer a wide variety of hours. Please contact us for more information on our weeknight, weekend, and summer hours.
Can you not hear that?
Kids, but we understand that parents
Ask people
getting out
if they can
is
hear the
very
video.
important.
Okay,
And we know
can
how
anyone
hard
hear
you
the
work.
video?
Not there.
Make that night
Stupid.
extra special by knowing we got this and we got you covered.
I think they can hear.
Call or text 571-329-8909 or contact us on our social medias at Round Hill Cities.
As an introductory offer, the Round Hill Babysitters Club is offering the first hour of your first sit for free.
Call the Babysitters Club today, where we treat every kid like family.
That was our weekend.
All right, so that was our weekend, and we had a hell of a good time. Savannah, are you still on with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, now everyone can hear you. So Savannah, you have to tell everyone again, who are you?
I am Savannah, and I am one of Hayden's friends, and I am the co-founder of the Babysitters Club.
Yes, you are. Now, who was the nice person who cut your video for your wonderful company?
Hayden's mom, Olivia.
Savannah.
And you.
Savannah, you will never, ever, you will never come back.
I took all the pictures and I videoed it for him.
Yes, and then you were the amazing editor.
Yep. Right here.
Actually outstanding.
Thank you. So, what do you want? You're calling for a reason. What do you want to call for?
I want you and everybody and Hayden's mom to know that you need to unground Hayden for one day this week, Wednesday, because Maeve's mom is going to bring us to the store to print out the flyers, and we need to do this Wednesday because I know Hayden. She's gonna keep her room clean.
No, she's not. No, Savannah, you don't know her at all. Savannah, you don't know her at all. Do we have a BS button or something? So Savannah, here's the thing. First of all, do you have permission to be on the show?
Hayden told me that I have
Okay,
permission.
all right. I just want to make sure. So share with your mom and dad because I may have to edit this part out. But listen, first of all, Babysitters Club is great. If you're in the Virginia area, they're fantastic. Okay, that's number one. Number two is Hayden is grounded is because she can't clean her room. So you got to understand, kid. There's rules. I mean, do I strike you as a guy who's going to change the rules?
No, but
No.
sometimes maybe.
But no, never. I appreciate you asking, though. It means a great deal to me because here's the reason why, Savannah, so I can be honest. I don't get to make the rules. Olivia does. And Olivia grounded her. And if I overthrow my wife, I won't see the next morning. I will wake up smothered. So I'm not going to go against her. You're going to have to convince Olivia. So why don't you ask Mrs. Spear and we'll go from there, okay?
Okay. Miss
Go ahead.
Spear, can you please unground Hayden for just Wednesday, and then you can ground her again, and for just Wednesday, because we're going to print out flyers, and Maeve's mom is going to bring us, and then, yeah, can you please do it?
I will tell you that was a fantastic,
That was very
very well said, and Olivia is going to say...
Is Hayden watching? She needs to come downstairs so we can have a chat.
No, that's not the answer. You should have been like, no. All right. Well, Savannah, how about this? I will give it some thought because the first time you didn't say please and thank you. But since you said please and thank you, I will give it some very serious consideration. Is that fair?
Yes, that is fair.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot for being Hayden's friend. Thanks for calling in and being a good
Bye,
sport.
Savannah.
See ya.
Yes. Okay. Bye.
All right. Well, anyway, so that's Savannah. Here's the thing, folks. A 13-year-old, 12-year-old girl has more courage than all of you to call in. Isn't that kind of funny? Here's the video I want to show you, and this is the 60 Minutes Ray Epps. Now, I was looking for it, and I'm going to try to find
I think everyone likes Hayden more than us. Everyone's played in her case.
What they're doing? What?
Everyone's like, do it, unground her, go Hayden.
What? You guys, you gotta have discipline. Get Hayden in here.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna look this up here. So please get her in here. Hold on, everybody. We're gonna find this out. All right, Hayden's coming in as we speak.
Okay.
She's coming in right now. All right, let's let her plead her case.
Okay. And she knocked.
She knocked. Okay,
Holy
get over
cow.
here hurry up and get over here on microphone. Get over here on microphone real quick.
Oh my God, they're watching.
Shh. Sit down.
We're on call with them.
Sit down. Okay. All right. Hayden,
Yes.
we need you to go ahead and you say you wanted to plead your case. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what exactly, go ahead, make your case. Why do you think you should be ungrounded since you have not been able to keep your room clean for 12 years?
Okay. Actually 13 because
Hayden?
Okay. So I think that I should be ungrounded for Wednesday only because Maeve's mom is going to be driving us to the post office to get our our flyers printed and laminated so we can put them all around the I'm not going to say where we live, around the Virginia community so we can advertise our business and make money. So
you can move out?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
I mean, happy if I move out or not happy if I move out?
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day.
Okay.
And the moment.
I'm going to go with happy that I move out. So, yes, to move out. And I'll be very responsible from now on. And I'll make sure that my room is from now on clean always.
Uh-huh.
And I'll do the kitchen for Mom for the next week.
Yeah, you've said all this before.
No, I'll do
I'm
the
not
kitchen
I'm
for
not
Mom for
feeling a
next
lot of contrition from you, Hayden. I'll be honest with you because you lie constantly about cleaning your room.
I severely apologize for betraying your trust and keeping my room unorganized.
All right. We're going to have a deal right here. Then this is what you're going to do. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to do your best Hermione impersonation in front of everybody. And then you're going to go ahead and do all 50 states in the song. Start with all 50 states in the song. Ready, go.
Alabama and Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut and more, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, 35 to go, Kansas and Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, and good on Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, and Montana, Nebraska's 27, number 28, Nevada, next New Hampshire, and New Jersey, all the way down to New Mexico. There's New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, now let's see, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and there's Utah, Vermont, I'm almost through, Virginia, and there's Washington and West Virginia too. Could Wisconsin be the last state, or is it 49? Wyoming is the last state in the 50 states that rhyme.
Okay, now Hermione, go.
Okay.
Here's Hermione Granger from Harry Potter. Ready, go.
Now I'm going to bed before either of you two come up with another clever idea to get us killed. Or worse, expelled.
Okay, you can go for the afternoon. Get out of my face.
Yes, thank you.
Leave. Do your damn room.
Thank you.
No, we don't care. Don't give us any thinking. We don't care anymore.
Okay.
Get your room clean right now. Just shush and go to your room. Do your room.
Oh my goodness.
She's so cool. She's the coolest.
She's freaking out right now.
She's the coolest kid in the world. How do you say no to that? I mean, how do you say no to that? Really?
She's freaking out. I can hear.
She does impersonations like her dad does. It's incredible. I mean, it's just incredible. She's going to do something like this. I promise you. And, you know.
Yeah. Okay. As far as the director, it was actually all 4 girls that wrote the commercial. They did it.
Maeve's here. Maeve says, Mrs. Spear, what is up with all the respect for Olivia? Mrs. Spear, I personally believe that Hayden should be ungrounded so that we can put up flyers. Either way, I respect your decision whether to ground her or not. She's got her own little freaking posse cartel going on.
She's got good friends. You guys are good friends.
All right.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah. Willow just said, yay.
Mike Blankman's like, no. Of course, Mike's military like me. No. All right. So listen, it's a clean room. We can get over it. She's going to learn that in the military because she wants to be an astronaut. So last thing, 60 Minutes episode. I'm not going to play the other Ray Epps episode. Just know this is that I just had questions, and I had questions quite a few about Ray Epps, because if you're going to hold people for going into the Capitol building, you should hold people who say, we're going into the Capitol building, and try to direct people into the Capitol building, whisper into somebody's ear and tell them something. And then seconds later, they start tearing down police barricades. Listen, Ray Epps should be in jail. If all January 6th, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist on this, I think January 6th was the dumbest thing that any American could possibly have done. All it did was give fuel for the left to go ahead and wipe away BLM and the 184 some odd riots and $2.5 billion worth of damage. January 6th was stupid. Okay, Ashley Babbitt's not a hero. I'm sorry. No, I don't care. You don't have to like the show. Call in and tell me why Ashley Babbitt's a hero. She would serve much better being alive. And I think her family will tell you that. I will tell you that. There's enough veterans that die every day, 22 a day. This was a waste. It was stupid. And Ray Epps should be in prison too. That's it. He's an Oath Keeper. I guarantee there were cases against Oath Keeper. There were FBI plants inside Oath Keeper. This is all true. There's no conspiracy theory here. All true. He was a chapter leader of the Oath Keepers. He had inside knowledge of them. And I guarantee he turned state's evidence. And we'll find this out in a Freedom of Information Act once this is all gone, that Ray Epps turned state's evidence with the FBI for his freedom. But nobody's going to say that because there's other cases going on, and they're not going to investigate this and put this on the airwaves and release it until it no longer matters. But that's probably what happened. And anybody who can do 2 + 2 is 4 in their head realizes that. I don't want to get into J6. I don't want to get it. There's no merit. Now everyone goes, oh, well, come on, Matt, the FBI nobody can make you do anything. I've said it 1,000 times. If I'm sitting with a couple 100,000 of my friends and they go, hey, let's go rob that liquor store, you know what I'm going to say? Time to go home. See ya. Bye-bye. I'm going to my family. Nobody can make you do anything. I don't care how freaking charming those FBI guys or Antifa guys or plants were. You still went in and you still did things that were wrong. Now, I understand there's people who just walked in and just did a tour. I know people went on the floor. I know some people released fire extinguishers. I know some people put shit on the walls. I know some people grabbed flagpoles and tried to beat cops with it. Some beat them with fire extinguishers. Some slammed them into the door. I know all about what happened. I saw it all. I've seen all the footage that's out there. Maybe not Tucker's, but the rest of it. And I will tell you this, nothing excuses what happened and nothing makes it make sense. Okay? So let's just put it to bed. But Ray Epps should be in prison. And the reason why he should be in prison is because what's fair is fair. And he should not have, under the Terrorist Act and holding a domestic terrorist act, him giving information and trading for dismissing charges. It's not on the table. He's a terrorist. He stays in prison until he talks. He doesn't have the rights that Americans do. If they would have treated him the same, they didn't. They treated him differently. They held the other group on domestic terrorist charges, and they didn't do anything with Ray Epps because he spoke out. To me, that's a double standard. And he should be in that prison until he has his day in court, or He uses some sort of trade under the court of law with an attorney to go ahead and do that. But then if he does, you have to afford the same right to every person who is involved there. This whole domestic charge, terrorist charge, allows them to keep people wantingly. It circumvents the Fourth Amendment. It circumvents all of the amendments. It circumvents due process. And that's unacceptable. If you charge one with domestic terrorism, they all need to be charged with the same thing. Here is the rat, Ray Epps, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. Once again, I don't have any proof that he's a rat. I just know how the law works. And he rolled over.
What are you thinking?
It's getting out of control.
This week on 60 Minutes, we report on Ray Epps, who is the target of numerous conspiracies around the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Conspiracies that seeped from the depths of the internet into conservative media.
Now, we've asked Ray Epps on this show repeatedly to explain why he thinks he has escaped prosecution.
And elected officials in the Republican Party.
Ms. Sadburn, who is Ray Epps?
You know, I don't want to be in the business of defending Ray Epps. I want to be in the business of defending the facts.
As part of his work for the committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the Capitol, Tom Jocelyn reviewed evidence and helped author the committee's final report.
I think there were people on the hard right who were desperate for a scapegoat. They didn't want to say that their side did this. They didn't want to say that their president instigated this. They're just desperate to pin it on somebody else.
So was Ray Epps just some hapless Trump supporter who got caught up in some outrageous conspiracy?
He absolutely is a Trump supporter who got caught up in an outrageous conspiracy theory. They're putting all the weight of this conspiracy theory, all of it, on his shoulders.
Ray Epps was an...
No, I don't think that's true. I don't think that anyone in their right mind can say that Ray Epps covered 6 or 7 square miles of property and encouraged all pockets to go in. And the reason why we know this is because 57 some odd thousand were still listening to Trump's speech for almost 2 hours into the riot that did not go and were not influenced by this, even though Donald Trump supposedly started the insurrection with his speech, which is bullshit. Now, I'm not saying Trump did anything to quash it. I'm not saying Trump didn't encourage them to go to the Capitol, but in no way, shape, or form did Donald Trump say, go inside the Capitol, bring freaking zip ties, smash windows, get Ashley Babbitt shot, hurt cops. I'm sorry. It's a bunch of innuendo. And ultimately, it's supposition up the yin-yang, because you have to, if Hillary Clinton doesn't get charged for what she did, good luck proving the intent of Donald Trump when he says the word fight. Fight has been used in, I can show you hundreds of videos of Democrats using the word fight with BLM. And that's just in the last 4 years. Since 1970 and the 70s with the hippie movement, I can show you the word fight, stand up, no justice, no peace. All of those are synonymous together. I can also show you some other things that are pretty disturbing, which are, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Okay. That's not necessarily a very uplifting song to me. I can also show you signs and Capitol buildings that were stormed in Oregon and Washington and all over the United States, police buildings that were caught on fire, federal buildings that were caught on fire, which is the definition of insurrection. You have a weapon, a Molotov cocktail is a weapon. It's a federal building. You're trying to impose your will upon the political process. I guess that's insurrection too. But let's not go there. Let's just go here and say that it's not a giant conspiracy theory. The guy's on effing tape saying it multiple times to multiple people, multiple angles, and every single person who has anything to do with J6 and studied it knows who Ray Epps is. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a question. Does Ray Epps work for the FBI? Did he turn state's evidence for the FBI? Did he negotiate a plea deal with the FBI? Why is that so hard to ask and answer? And all we hear is it's a current investigation. Well, then put it to bed. If it's a current investigation, don't you think 60 Minutes should have had a talking to by the FBI and saying you're impeding our investigation by putting Ray Epps on national fucking TV where tens of millions of people are going to have access to this? That's not impeding an investigation? Then why are you not telling us if this guy turned state's evidence? What's the big deal? He made a deal. Okay. Well, because we're worried about his life being in danger. He's already getting death threats. He says it right here. I mean, come on. maybe a lot of people would just back off and say, fine, this guy turned state's evidence. He's a rat. I don't know. I don't have to tell you. But the speculation is running wild. And the reason it's running wild is because we have a video of him doing this and he's not in prison. And there's people who were just there who are. So it makes him look like the mastermind of this. And understand, you have people's blood that's up. They think the election was stolen. They're ready to go. They consider themselves patriots. And then you have guys strike a match on a powder keg. A lot of these people were disillusioned by Q and QAnon posts and people in their basement making shit up. I just told you some of the things they said about the election, including lizard people and clones and the cannibalistic pedophiles oh God, I can't stand all this shit. But this type of stuff riles people up. Some people think Democrats are Satan. I mean, come on, man. You know how toxic it is out there. You know it's a powder keg. And for Ray Epps to strike the match, he needs to be held accountable unless he turns state's evidence. So just tell us he did, because we all know he did.
I was a cheerleader and I did the stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight cheer at every game. And I don't remember the crowd rioting.
You were an insurrectionist.
I was.
You were such an insurrectionist. You were
in my little cheerleading skirt.
You're such a bimbo.
At least until 2011.
Yep.
He flew to Washington for this rally.
Yep.
He was out on the street the night before the rally, sort of exhorting people to go into the Capitol.
Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol.
And on the day of the assault on the Capitol, he was there when they went through that first barricade.
Yep.
It seems like he was all in.
I think he believed in the cause of protesting what he and others believed was a stolen election at the Capitol. I'm not going to defend any of what you just said. It's all entirely accurate.
So where did that theory?
So why the hell? Then where's the conspiracy? If everything that he just said is accurate, then why isn't he in prison? Because he turned state's evidence. You know what? Here's the thing. You know what I would do? I would depose that lawyer. I would have the Senate. I would put him on the stand. This is the investigation from the Republicans. I would bring him and I would put him on the stand. And I subpoena his ass and ask him one question. Sir, you're just here for one question and you're free to go. Did you negotiate with any government agency for your client, Ray Epps, to have to have an immunity deal based upon his testimony in a closed session that exonerated him from all charges because of immunity? Yes or no? Or anything thereunto? Yes or no? And sir, please remember you're under oath and you can be disbarred if you perjure yourself today. And if he says, I plead the fifth, okay, well, then he did. And if he says no, then you say, great. And if he says yes, then you say, okay, great, thank you. And you let him go. Because that will open up a litany of floodgates that you can go after multiple people and start really knocking some pegs down in regards to discovery and subpoena records and get people on testimony and bring in everyone who is responsible on the left and the right and find out what actually happened. Did Donald Trump order the National Guard? Well, we need to see that order. Did Nancy Pelosi tell them to stand down? Did she make some of the comments that she did in regards to Trump and that he was going to hang for this and all these personal things? All that stuff needs to come out. But the only way you do that is to catch them in a lie. You got this guy on national TV here saying this, and you put him on the stand and see if he perjures himself. You play this 2.5 minutes, show it in front of America, and then ask him the question. One question, that's it. Just one. Jim Jordan goes up and says, I have one question, sir, and then you're free to go. And I'm telling you right now, the dominoes fall. And then you prove if it's a conspiracy theory. But his lawyer just said everything he said is true. He did incite. He said all these things. That's him. He did all of those things. Well, then it's not a fucking conspiracy, is it? I got somebody's comment I want to read after this.
Come from.
It seems to come on the night of January 5th. There's another extremist who's nearby Epps and is talking to him and conversing with him. And he immediately starts shouting, Fed, Fed, Fed.
Fed, 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 Fed.
At Ray Epps.
At Ray Epps, because Ray Epps is talking about going into the Capitol. Now, here's what's interesting. That same guy, his name is Tim Jeanette, he's brought up on January 6 charges because he actually did go into the Capitol, right? Now, you would think that if Jeanette was set up by Ray Epps, that would have been a very convenient defense, wouldn't it be?
Nobody's saying
he was
this.
somehow tricked or manipulated in doing this. But yet, no, that was never argued.
In a statement, the FBI told 60 Minutes...
The reason why it was never argued is because it was never said. Nobody said, listen, you would be stupid to think that Ray Epps has mental powers, that he can enter your head and control your mind. That's not what he's saying. I am telling you this. He's doing it backwards. It's not that Ray Epps created January 6th. You have to start from the end. If everyone is being held accountable who went into the Capitol that day and is either locked up or has been investigated and exonerated for those basic accusations or self-incrimination, then you have to treat Ray Epps the same way. And in no way, shape, or form was he. He didn't spend any time in jail. He got to go back home. The FBI confronted him. And he called in, and they had a casual sit-down conversation, and no charges were brought up. In the very least,
it's getting out of control.
One second, I'm sorry, guys.
This
in the
week
very
on
least,
60
there should
Minutes,
have been
we
a
report
conversation that took place that was in front of a grand jury, or there was a deposition or an affidavit taken based upon Ray Epps' testimony, and that should have been released to the public. We should have heard it in the January 6th trials. He should have been called to witness in January 6th trials. If the Democrats are truly looking for justice and they're truly looking for who's responsible, and it's not just a witch hunt on Donald Trump, then Ray Epps most assuredly should have been there. So there's no conspiracy here. I know there's people who are saying he's fed. Everyone, the FBI was there, the Antifa. You have no proof. You can say all you want. We saw a badge. We saw a gun. They had short haircuts. They had earpieces. Please stop. You have no evidence. Everything you have is circumstantial. But what you do have is the smoking gun with Ray Epps on video calling for the storming of the Capitol. And that should be something he holds and is made to account for, period. Comment that was added here. I want to read this. Holy Lord. Kyle Rittenhouse. Oh God, this guy's a gun nut. He's a I don't like guns. See, they're saying Kyle Rittenhouse is holding an AR, probably 22 long rifle, with a suppressor on it. And they're saying this is grooming. That's not grooming. Grooming is what you guys do to children when you tell them that they should chop off their penises because they want to wear a girl's dress for Halloween, or they want to go ahead and wear it for a week. My child has changed her mind 72 times from coming home from school today on multiple faceted issues. So, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. I'm gonna link your stuff, but this is a bot. It's a bot because nobody has a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse unless they're a bot. Alex Vindman, he says, I don't know what, so you copied this from somewhere. See, dude, these aren't even your words, but I'm going to read them anyway. Tucker Carlson is a clear and present danger to our national security. Tucker's lies weaponize disinformation and propaganda. Damn it. Sorry. Let me get to your crap here, because this is important crap to talk about. Drove countless veterans to take part in the insurrection on January 6th. And on his show last night, Tucker defended the Air National Guardsman who was just arrested for leaking classified documents online. He turned him into a martyr. He's still alive, right?
Well, Tucker Carlson didn't do a show last night. So.
No, come on. This is from a few nights ago. Gosh darn it. Make no mistake. Tucker Carlson's seal of approval last night will encourage more members of the armed forces to leak critical national security secrets. I can't emphasize enough how dangerous this is. The Pentagon needs to act. Tucker Carlson lies and disinformation. Okay. So let me get this straight. You guys, Colonel Vindman, you guys support him doing it because it's about Donald Trump and he went through the Whistleblower Act, even though he wasn't fully approved to be a whistleblower. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't there a transgender person who was in the army and went ahead and turned into a female, and didn't she release secrets? What about Bergdahl? Weren't you guys all hot on Bergdahl when he went behind enemy lines and sympathized with the enemy and we had to send in military people to get him out? Yeah. I think what's funny about what you're saying, and I don't want to do whataboutism, is that I agree with some of the things you said. I think Tucker Carlson most assuredly did quite a few things that would be considered propaganda. Yeah, I do. I agree. I think he did more good than harm, but I think that he was on the wrong side of several subjects. But he can do that because his show is editorialization. It's not a journalist. He's not an eyewitness reporter. He's not a columnist. He's a talk show host. And just like we can't take Don Lemon seriously, and just like we can't take Rachel Maddow seriously for saying that the sky is falling for the last 2.5, 3 years, making prediction after prediction that Donald Trump is going to be arrested. And I've got a feeling today that it's going to happen. And all this other bullshit that Rachel Maddow does, but yet she's not fired. Please understand this, that there's a very big difference between editorialization and fact. And you may not like that, but unfortunately, it's entertainment. And that's really what Tucker Carlson is. Now, if you want to look at, other shows like mine or Rush Limbaugh or Dan Bongino, they're all the same thing. I'm not a journalist. I have a set of skills that I've used throughout my life that I learned in the military and also learned in business and corporations, analytical skills. I know a lot about the Constitution. I've worked on several campaigns. I've got some qualifications to be here and have these conversations, including a half-assed degree. But none of those things hold me culpable if I decide to sit up here and just BS you. Now, that's my integrity, and I would like to think that the reason we've got so many people on and the reason why so many people follow this show is because I don't bullshit you. And I care about my character. Now, if someone paid me $10 million to shill for the right, would I do it? Yeah, I probably would. I'm not going to lie. $10 million to make what Tucker makes, to go up there and shill? Yeah, maybe. But I haven't had that offer, so we'll wait and see. But for now, and up until anything excluding that point, I will continue to be honest and not shill for anybody. I promise this, I will tell you when I do. I will say in front of my show every night, I get a very lucrative contract to tell you just what I think, and usually it aligns with the Republican National Convention, and then I'll stop. Because I'll just be honest. The people who are on Twitter, the people who are out here in the ether right now, they don't tell you that they're paid for by the RNC or the DNC, and a lot of them are. Most of the ones on Twitter are. And you can name all the big ones, all the blues, and most of them are in the DNC payroll. I have never taken a dime from any politician, including two of them that have been on here, Brandon Michon and Eli Crane. I got nothing to have them on. Nothing. I got some hats and shirts. That's it. And great conversation. I don't get paid by the Republican National Convention. You can check my taxes. Those will be ready. I asked for an extension, so hopefully a month or so. But if you can't say that and look into the camera, then immediately you're guilty of something. And Tucker Carlson is most assuredly guilty of getting the story wrong several times. The question is, was it defamation? Dominion would not have proven that. I think Fox News had to have a sacrificial lamb. I think they had to take someone down, and they were going to ride Tucker Carlson until he quit. And today looks like that day. Everything to me looks like he just quit. He came in, he wanted to address the Ray Epps story. He wanted to defend himself. They said, not a chance. You just got us nailed because of Dominion. You're done with J6. You're done with stolen election. He's like, well, my contract says, and they're like, too fucking bad. And he goes, fine, I'm walking. I'm popping smoke, Charlie Mike. And he left because Tucker Carlson does not have to worry about his show. He can go do anything. He has got a multi-million-dollar media organization at his disposal. He can open up a Rumble podcast tomorrow and 2 million people will listen to it. He doesn't need Fox News. He is essentially bulletproof for a long time, more than Bill O'Reilly ever was. So why wouldn't he just quit? If it was a breach of contract, he quits. He'll let the lawyers settle it. Who cares? And Fox doesn't care. They wanted him gone anyway. Go ahead, Liv.
Someone asked, is incitement a crime?
Sure. If you can prove it, but you got to prove it. You have to prove without an unreasonable doubt that every single person who entered the Capitol all will say the reason I went in is because of Donald Trump. And the moment that one of them says, no, it wasn't because of Donald Trump, we were going in anyway, then your story's full of holes and you have inconsistencies in the incitement clause. Incitement means, here's an example, 1872 in Tombstone, Arizona, and we're all outside the saloon. And I just got done sleeping with a pretty whore. And as I'm walking, nobody gives a shit. New York City, we would hang them with a rope. So as we're walking across the dusty trail of the OK Corral Saloon in Bonnie's Bonnets, what do I see? I see a black man. And that man was talking to a white woman. So I'm going to go back into the bar and say, I just saw a black man put his hands on a white woman and she's screaming bloody murder. She passed Ted's tomfooleries and Winston's whiskeys, and we got to go get this guy. Let's hang him. And then everybody runs out of the saloon and they proceed to get a rope, and then they lynch somebody who's completely innocent, who did nothing wrong, and that is incitement. So there are several ways to incite, and you can imagine what that would look like. But is incitement a crime? Yes. When there is actual cause for somebody to say things that are not true, that ultimately causes harm onto another person, that's incitement. That's incitement.
And he should be in jail because somebody got killed that day.
Well, no, because no matter how charming Ray Epps is, he did not incite violence that day. He did not get everybody to do that. There were multiple areas and encroachments into the Capitol building. It wasn't just one entryway. It was all over the place. Multiple people went into that building. Ray Epps should be held accountable for doing what he did until there is an investigation and he has charges put against him and he has a jury of his peers go ahead and weigh him. And everyone else is having to go through that. Why isn't Ray Epps? Well, because he made a deal.
I'm just wondering what he could have made a deal on, though. I mean, what did he have?
He had information on the Oath Keepers. The Oath Keepers was a very large part of this, and a lot of this came through. The FBI had infiltrated the Oath Keepers. They were listening to their communication channels through IRC and other places. And multiple other groups were involved with this event and had intent to, go to the Capitol to cause a ruckus, right? I aim to misbehave. And Ray Epps had a lot to do with that. And a lot of people thought he was an FBI informant and was inside the Oath Keepers, and that would make sense. This whole thing it's very complicated because it's a multifaceted situation. Multiple people are wrong, multiple people are right, and everybody owns a little responsibility in this, including the Democrats. All right. Amy says, jury of their peers, where do you find that many snakes? All right, last video. Actually, two more that I want to play. No, I think we're just going to get the Biden one, and then we're going to go watch hockey.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Rebecca put a teacher's creed into words when she
Olivia's
said,
not going to like this, folks. This is Joseph Biden saying that your kids are not your kids. He's basically Holly. I'm going to let you tell that story. Here it is.
Rebecca put a teacher's creed into words when she said, there's no such...
Okay. Rhonda says, Harris saying people aren't going to stop burning up the streets. Is that incitement? No, you have to prove incitement. And that is it's just like proving slander, or it's just like proving intent. Listen, I'm not going to defend Maxine Waters. I'm not going to defend Harris. I'm not going to defend any of these people. I believe language is very dangerous. And if one person takes information and acts upon it, you have to prove without any doubt, with no equivocation, that that person did it because of what they said. And then you start getting into censorship and free speech, that Harris should be able to have an opinion, no matter how fucked up it is. She should have an opinion on what BLM does. And she can certainly say they're not going to stop burning down until they get the justice
Rebecca
that they
put
need.
A teacher's creed into words when
to me, you have to prove that. Now, what about the Bernie bro who shot Scalise? Is it because of what Bernie said? Well, you have to prove that without a reasonable doubt. And it's very difficult. But what I just gave you is a very clear indication of, in small groups, incitement is very easy to do. Here's another one. Incitement can be used for rape charges. A college football team, the duct tape rapists from CU, Colorado football, were on the football team, and they would take girls and they would get them drunk, and they would duct tape their wrists and their mouths and their eyes shut, and they would rape them. And they were called the duct tape rapists. And they would come up from behind and they would knock them unconscious.
Rebecca put a teacher's
Gosh,
creed into
son of a
words when she
bitch.
said, there's
Sorry,
no such
this thing keeps changing. So they would come up behind and they would knock these poor women out, and then they would use duct tape and then they would rape them. But there was one guy who really was the ringleader and the culprit in this that brought the other guys into the group. And you can incite other people based upon your actions and things that you say. But ultimately, that is more for smaller groups. But I can't go on here and say, guys, that's it. Tomorrow, we need to go and fight, and we need to stand up, and we need to do something about this. And then a few of you, now this is all speculation to the NSA and Department of Homeland Security and Secret Service that just came on. But if I tell you that, and then 10 of you go and storm the Capitol, I'm not going to get held for incitement. I might be investigated. They're going to look at me. They're going to talk to me, but I'm not going to be held for incitement because I said you need to stand up and fight. Because ultimately, that's not what I didn't tell you. But if I go tomorrow, I need 10 of you to go to A, B, and C and do D, E, and F. And if you do this, I promise you, Lord in heaven will give you 60 virgins when you die. You need to go do, that's incitement. It has to be prescriptive. It has to be laid out, and it has to be proven without a reasonable doubt that they did that unequivocally because what you said. Donald Trump gave no such instruction. So it's not a question of, did Donald Trump incite insurrection? The answer is no, but that's what they're trying to label. Now, Ray Epps didn't incite anything either, because what he said was, we're going to go into the building. Now, for the people who have misdemeanors, if they came in contact with Ray Epps, they have a case. And most of those people have been let go. But for the people that were on the stairway and breaking glass and beating the shit out of cops and trying to storm it, those people are not going to go, because that's not what Ray Epps said to do. This is the law. It's only about what you can prove. It's not about what we think. And Ray Epps does not deserve to be charged with incitement. He needs to be in prison just like everybody else, because he was there that day and he encouraged people to go in. And that is 10 times worse than some of the people who are still in prison for misdemeanors. Do you see the difference? He was there. He said, do it. He was at the gates. He stormed, but he didn't go into the Capitol building. It doesn't matter. He led to some of the actions that took place because he's responsible for who he is. All right, go ahead, caller. Where are you from? What's your name?
Hey, this is Bubba.
Bubba, what's
New
up?
New Orleans.
Yep.
I was
Hey,
just want to see when we were going.
What?
I was just see when we were going.
I think he's making a joke.
Oh, I don't understand the joke.
When you were saying, if I tell you guys to go, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah, Bubba, that's not funny, man. That's not funny. That's going to get me in trouble. So we're not going anywhere. I'm going to let you go. All right, so we're going to let Bubba go. That's not funny. So we're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything because I'm not getting involved in that stuff. So nobody's going nowhere. I didn't tell anyone to go anywhere. It was a complete joke. Yeah, that ain't funny. The last thing I want to show you was this Joe Biden video, and I want Olivia to hear this. Sorry I hung up on Bubba, but nope, we're not doing that. Here it is.
Rebecca put a teacher's creed into words when she said, there's no such thing as someone else's child. No such thing as someone else's child. Our nation's children are all our children.
Let's listen to that again.
Rebecca put a teacher's creed into words when she said, there's no such thing as someone else's child. No such thing as someone else's child. Our nation's children are all our children. Rebecca,
all right, Liv, do you want to address this and tell the story of what happened here with one of our friends and explain this situation, please?
Oh my goodness. Well, I guess the nation's children or whatever, I guess that explains why they think that they can take the rights away from the parents and do whatever they want with them.
Well, explain that.
Well, I mean, they're passing rules and laws and whatever that these kids can transition and they can start taking drugs to transition and have surgeries without even telling the parents, and that the school doesn't need to tell the parents if a kid comes to them and says, I'm thinking about becoming a girl or a boy or whatever. They don't have to tell the parents. And now I'm seeing where they get that from. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's a crock of shit to say that. It's not your child. They're my children. And you're not shelling out the $1.5 million it's going to take to raise them both from birth to 18, and then however many more we're going to spend on them when they're older as well. And you're not the one dealing with the preteen years with our daughter and the temper tantrums and the tears and the everything else. No, you're not. So you don't really have a say in my child's life and what they can and can't do and anything else. So
walk them through what happened with our friend.
So the friend, the first thing, my first really experience with her, I'd been told that she was amazing because she was one of your best friends growing up. And, and I'd wanted to meet her, but she lives in Australia. So, but when you found her on Facebook, I was so excited for her. It was like, yay, old friends, blah, blah, blah. Well, my first real experience with her was when we had just found out Hayden was a girl. And we were 4.5 months pregnant with her. And, well, I was 4.5 months pregnant, let's put it that way. And she comes out and says, well, what happens if it's a boy? My friend, blah, 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 was told that it was a girl, and it turned out to be a boy. And then my other friend said it was going to be a boy. And I mean, just totally like scaring the shit out of us. On top of the fact that that day we also found out she was a girl, we also found out that she was what is called a 2-vessel baby. One of her blood vessels and the umbilical cord had collapsed. And that can lead to cerebral palsy and mental retardation and so many other neurological issues. So we were freaking out to begin with. But yeah, so that was my first experience. Well, when Hayden was maybe 4, I don't even know how the conversation got started on Facebook. I don't know if we posted a picture of her or if it was gymnastics. I'm not sure what it was.
It was just a normal post and how pretty she was. And she came on and she said, oh, how pretty she is and everything else. And that she's a gift to the world. And then I was like, well, that's really nice of you. Thank you. And then she came back and said the following.
Something, I don't remember quite exactly what was said. I just remember I was really, really pissed off. I went off.
This is
on
what
her.
she said. She said, and I said, she's a gift to the world. And I said, yep, her mother and I are very proud. And she says, well, you shouldn't be because
she's not your child.
She's not your child. She belongs to the world.
Yep, that's what it was.
And, I'll be honest with you. I was like, no. Unless the world's going to write me a $750,000 paycheck based upon me raising this child. This is your child. This is my child. What are you talking about? And even when she leaves the house, she's still our child. And even when she's dead, she's still our child. And until I give her away down the aisle, she's my responsibility.
And she's still our child, even when she gets married.
Yeah, but she's no longer my responsibility. It's whatever dumb shit marries her, that's the responsibility.
Yeah, I just remember I was pretty pissed and I went off on her. And we're no longer friends.
So here's what you need to understand. Here's what Joe Biden and the Democrats are doing. Joe Biden is officially, he's no longer a Democrat. He is a progressive socialist. And he believes in everything. He believes in transitioning. He believes that children have every right to be a man if they want to, or a woman. He truly believes, based upon whatever's in his head, that men can be women and women can be men. He believes in what his political party's doing. He believes. And there's no clearer evidence than he goes up there and stands there and says these things. They don't want you to know if your child transitions. So I want to make sure you understand. If your child comes to them and says, I'm going to get my penis cut off, or I'm going to have my vagina removed, or I'm going to have my breast lopped off, they don't have to tell you. So I want you to imagine if your child comes and says, I'm going to commit suicide. I'm going to rob a liquor store. I'm going to come into school and shoot somebody. If your child does that, do you think they will call you?
They are supposed to.
They are supposed to. Then why would you not go ahead and tell me that my child's transitioning, or that my child is thinking of being with another sex of a person, or doesn't believe that they're comfortable in their own body? The school board is going to a point that they are full-fledged indoctrination camps. They're no longer, if you don't allow parents the ability to raise their children, then your ultimate goal is to indoctrinate them and go against the parents' teachings. And the funny thing is it isn't just one group of parents, it's all parents. You don't get to subject only certain kids to this. It's not like they're going after Republicans. They're going after all kids. And that's terrifying. It's scary, beyond scary. So when he says this, he's not kidding. Hold on. So he's not kidding when he says this. According to Joe Biden, parents have no rights. The Democrats, the parental right bill, no Democrat voted for it. And the parental rights bill comes out of Alexandria, Virginia. It comes out of Fairfax. It comes out of Loudoun County and Ashburn, where we have our children going. And people like Brandon Michon fought this type of stuff. And some of us have fought the LCPS board. Matt Wallace came out and Walsh and had a conversation against the LCPS board. And we have fought for the right for the parents to know. And you just don't know how horrific these things are. I can't show you the pictures of some of these books because my show will be suspended for child pornography. Let me say that again. I can't report on the news and show you the photographs of a 37-year-old immigrant farm worker who is a landscaper at someone's house performing fellatio on a 9-year-old boy, then sodomizing a 9-year-old boy, and then having anal sex with a 9-year-old boy. I can't show you those pictures. I can't read those things to you. I can't show you the pictures of 2 young boys having oral sex in books. I can't show you the content in books that they have access to where it's talking about an older sister raping her daughter or her sister, little sister, who's 6 years old. There was who is the person, Orange from a New Black? The chubby, horrible one who was huge. She was a huge leftist and she's just disappeared now.
I don't remember. We only watched one season, so I don't
remember her name. But anyway, she wrote a book about this where she talks about how she raped her sister. These books are in the library. I can't share these things with you. I can't show you this, but this is the stuff that they're putting in schools. Olivia will attest to this. This has happened all over Virginia.
Yes, it has. There have been a line of moms each took a passage from these books and they went to the school board meeting, LCPS, where our kids go to school. And these were books that they got from the libraries their kids brought home. These are books that the schools told the kids, do not tell your parents that you are reading them.
Right.
And they took them to the school board meeting and they started reading passages from them. And the school board members said, you need to stop. This is inappropriate.
We have people listening on webcam. We have children listening. And he's like, that's the point.
That's the point. They're like, you need to stop. This is inappropriate. We can't go on. This shouldn't not be said in public. Well, this is the shit that you're feeding down our kids' throat at school. Why is it inappropriate for a bunch of adults to listen to this, but it's appropriate for minor children to be able to read this and actually see the pictures as well? So I know I saw something, I don't know how recent, I think it's recent, but I think a young boy went up there and started reading one of these passages.
Here's the books, and I'm not endorsing them, but there's a book called Gender Queer Lawn Boy by Jonathan Evison. That's the one, the Lawn Boy one, which is about the gardener who sexually rapes a child. And like I said, I will not show you the photos because I can't. I won't do it. It's disgusting. And it's not just disgusting because I don't care about homosexuality. That doesn't bother me. This is pedophilia. There's a difference. If 2 guys want to go ahead and do the beast with 2 backs, fucking great. Good for them. I don't care. Good for you. You're an adult. Do what you want. 2 women want to have sex. I don't care. You want to have sex with 14 partners? I don't care. Good. Do it. But when there's children involved, this stuff shouldn't be involved. We're not banning books. We're telling them that there's age-appropriate things. These are the people who think that kids should play Grand Theft Auto. Do you really believe that our children at this age should run over hookers and do cocaine and drugs and hold up banks and shoot innocent people This is the games they should play? Do you think they should read these books? This isn't the days of Elvis Presley and Ozzy Osbourne, for God's sakes, or Dungeons and Dragons. This is some serious shit. And it's serious to the point because this is bringing material to our kids that they cannot process. It's very important to understand is that these kids don't have the necessary mindset to understand. And I want to be really clear, because if Willow's still listening or Savannah's still listening or Hayden's still listening, if a person's transgender, they should be supported and taken care of. And they deserve all the rights that every human being does. What I have an issue with is when you take influential children who are not ready to make these decisions and you influence them and you tell them that this is normal, when I don't want you talking about regular marriage. I don't want you talking about gay marriage. I don't want you talking about my kids right now. They should be studying, your elbow's in the way of the camera. My kids should be studying how to babysit. They should be reading Sweet Valley High books. They should be watching Twilight and having a crush on either Edward or Jacob. They should not be deciding their sexuality and what they're going to do with the rest of their lives today. That they don't need to do that right now. They can do it when it's time. Kids grow up way too fast anyway. Good night, sweetie.
Team Jacob.
Team Jacob.
Team Jacob.
Team Jacob.
Oh, no.
Team
Team
Jacob.
Edward all the way.
Team Jacob is what Hayden says.
100%.
Whatever.
Love you.
Love you. All right, folks, listen, I appreciate it. We got 200 and something. How many we have on Rumble?
250. I think 9 was the set number on YouTube, and we went up to 30. Oh, we're at 57 on Rumble right now.
57 on Rumble. All my Rumble fans, thank you. Please get this. I don't know how to get it out on Rumble, but please do. Showing you one more video. I promised I would do this. Yep, I've got it. Justin Trudeau. I told my Canadian people I would play this. Listen to this jerk backpedal on vaccines. This frustrates me.
Misinformation and disinformation is carrying people to believe things that are untrue. And vaccinations is a perfect example of it. Like any modern bit of medical advancements, there are potential side effects in vaccinations. And there are people who've probably gotten very sick from vaccinations, on the billions of people who've been vaccinated against COVID over the past few years. But there are far more people who obviously have died due to COVID, died from not getting vaccinated. And the idea that people can fly in the face of science, well, individuals are allowed to make their own choices. There may be all sorts of different reasons why someone is hesitant to get vaccinated. But I make a distinction, and I have always have, between someone choosing for personal reasons to choose not to get vaccinated and someone deliberately using misinformation to mislead and scare other people with so-called facts that aren't facts at all, that lead them to make a choice that endangers their lives and the lives of other citizens. So as Prime Minister, through the greatest public health crisis that we've faced in 100 years in this country, since the Spanish flu, my responsibility was to keep as many Canadians alive as possible. And all of the scientists,
As long as they weren't conservative.
and the medical experts and the researchers, not just in Canada, but around the world, understood that vaccination was going to be the way through this. And therefore, while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated, I chose to make sure that all the incentives and all the protections were there to encourage Canadians to get vaccinated. And that's exactly what they did. We got vaccinated to a higher level than just about any other of our peer countries. And that's why we had a less deadly pandemic than most other countries.
I have never heard such a large amount of shit spew from one person's mouth in the history of delusion.
Isn't this the man who arrested people inside their own homes because they had like more than 5 people in there?
Yeah, this is the man who also put the Canadian Mounties and horses stampeding on top of people during the truck strikers and people who were against the vaccine and saying, we've lost our jobs, we're on lockdown, what the hell's going on? Canadians, this guy is absolutely should face criminal charges for his actions during COVID. The guy is a liar. He is a weasel. He is a New World Order puppet. And I don't say that. You guys don't hear me say I don't think maybe in 2 years you've heard me say the New World Order 2 or 3 times when we're talking about Schwab or whatever. Trudeau is a New World Order type of guy. He believes in global government. He believes in one world currency. He believes in socialism. He believes in redistribution of wealth. He is a beta male of epic proportions, and he's a douchebag. He's a douchebag. He's a tyrant. And for him to sit up there and say blatantly that he supported choice is one of the biggest fallacies I have ever heard in my life. And I've heard whoppers from everything he said for 2 minutes and 6 seconds was a lie. Was a lie. Everything he said was a lie. There was not one thing, there was not a truthful statement that came out of his mouth for that 2 minutes and 6 seconds. But tonight, Tucker Carlson, who has said a lot of true, a lot of honest, and yes, he's made some mistakes, doesn't have a job and wasn't able to defend himself against people like that. Because remember, Tucker Carlson, it wasn't just J6 and it just wasn't the stolen election. He was wrong about the stolen election. J6, we're still waiting to find out. We don't know. We don't have any evidence, but stolen election, I've been fighting this for 2.5 years of what it was and what it wasn't. And he said some things that were untrue. Absolutely. COVID, I haven't seen him be wrong about anything. And he stood up there and was chastised and censored from talking about COVID and vaccines when he said nothing that was wrong, because it was all true. Every bit of it. And now Justin Trudeau, once the facts have come out and the numbers are showing and everyone's going whoopsie doopsie, they're all backpedaling and there are a bunch of roaches running for underneath the refrigerator. I want you to think about that. Tucker was 1, 1, and 1. Trudeau is 0 for 0 for 0. And
I haven't heard much about the vaccines lately getting them pushed anymore.
No, I wonder why. I'm waiting for the new variant. Where's that thing? Folks, there it is. That's the end of the Donut Friendly Show tonight. Thanks. It was nice to have so many 200, we almost had 300 people on at one point. It was just great to see so many people on. Thank you. We need to get more callers in. Listen, just because we get grumpy with people online doesn't mean we're going to be grumpy with you. Bubba, I'm sorry I hung up, but you can't say that stuff. I don't support those things. And even though you were kidding, you can't do that. It's not in today's age because I don't need the show canceled. So much love to you. You know I respect you. I love you as a viewer, but I had to hang up on you because I wasn't having that conversation. Folks, if you're going to call in, have a topic, have a take, tell me something. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you think. I want to hear how you're feeling. I don't want you to come on here and be a passenger. Best line I can give you from the Colorado Avalanche, Jared Bednar says this to the players. And when we lose games, he goes, well, we had a bunch of passengers here tonight. Don't be a passenger. Call me and have an opinion. Stand your ground. Even if I get grumpy, who cares? I want to hear what you have to say.
Have some stick-to-itiveness.
Some stick-to-it. Have some preparedness. Have some stick-to-itiveness. That's what Jared also says. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go watch Game 4, Colorado Avalanche versus the Seattle Kraken. I hope we put it to bed 3-1 tonight. God bless. Please do me a favor.
I'm sorry. Maple Leafs just tied it up 4-4, 3 minutes left in the third. Gosh darn it, Lightning.
Tampa Bay is going to win that game. Tampa Bay is going to win that game. Mock me.
Jets have already scored.
Me. Mock me.
It's coming.
Mock me.
Hang on.
Mock me.
I'm looking.
Mock me.
I'm looking.
Mock me. Mock me.
Oh my gosh, where is it?
Mock me.
What's the name of the show? I can't remember. I'm looking.
Mock me.
Outlander. That's what it is.
Mock me.
Where is it?
My God.
I don't know where.
Find it. Hurry up. This is a perfect. I know. It's a perfect soundbite. Mock me. Mock me.
I'm looking. I can't find it.
The hell's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Mark me. M-A-R-K.
I know.
Hurry up.
I can't find it.
Do your job. Mock me. Come on. I can't believe this. You've been waiting for this to play the.
No. I don't know where I put it. Hang on, I'll find it.
No, we're done. I'm disappointed in you.
I know.
I'm done. What did you put it under?
I thought I put under movies, but it's not there.
Outlander?
Yeah.
Come on.
Did I not download it?
What's wrong with you? See, there's this guy in there, and every time he says anything, he's like, the entire collapse of the Scottish system is based upon the dollar. Mark me.
Mark me.
Mark me now. Someone mark me. I will not relent. I will rebel. I will push against the English and push them out of our lands. Mark me.
Oh, I totally forgot to download them, the new ones. That's why.
Download it now. It's in your downloads. Mark me.
Okay.
Just download and play it. That's all you got to do. It's all you got to freaking do is push the button. Mark me.
I'm looking.
Mark me.
I'm having some. This is why I don't do technical stuff for your show.
This is pathetic.
I know.
You suck, you jackass.
Hey, Olivia, you got 10 seconds.
Yes.
No?
It's here. It is.
No? Here it is.
Mark me.
Okay, do it again.
Mark me.
Yeah, about time. Too late. My mark is.
I know. I think I didn't download it.
Next time, do it right. All right, folks, listen. Now that everybody's gone, I can't do the commercials for the show because now we can't sell anything. Folks, go over to thedumbshow.com and you can buy hats, shirts, coffee mugs, all that type of stuff. Go on over there. There's some great stuff. 10% back to veterans every single year. We're going to be cutting that check soon. I'm going to tell you how much we're giving back. It's going to be a lot, which is crazy. And you can also save 10% by going to DUM10 on the code, DUM10. And if you join the Don't Unfriend Me group, if you're on your phone in the lower quadrant here, there's a little teal box with a heart in it. Click that, and you can subscribe to the Don't Unfriend Me group for $1.99. It'll give you 15% off all website purchases, and you get to come in and talk to all the dummies together and mock me.
Oh, I closed it out.
Now hiring anybody else. Mock me.
Mark me.
Oh, my Lord. Folks, good night. Thanks for watching. Remember, tomorrow I'll have a morning show like I did today. Go watch that. It's actually good. It's about veterans and how the Democrats are accusing Republicans of decreasing the overall budget for veterans, and it's a lie. It's a complete lie. Go watch it. I just did that this morning. God bless. Thank you for watching the show. It was a good one tonight. It was great to have you here. I will go out like we always do. Olivia Spear, say good night.
Night, y'all.
And we will see you guys on Wednesday, and then I'll have a recorded show tomorrow. Have a good evening. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important. You are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call